Outside of an isolated shower or two as we head into the evening, we do stay pretty quiet going into the night, and we clear out as well. Lows will drop into the 50s to near 60s, so a pretty comfortable night on our hands as well. Much of Tuesday, again, is dry, with the exception of a few isolated showers that may pop up in the afternoon. We'll talk about that. We'll go through the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up as well. But until then, First at 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group. KELOLAND News, First at 4.
Fireworks season has come to an end. We're going to take a look at how many firework complaints Sioux Falls police got coming up.
Plus, just step outside and you'll notice the mosquitoes are bad. The steps one day camp is taking to protect campers.
Hurricane Beryl made landfall this morning. We'll take a look at the conditions in Texas and where the storm is headed next. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. A scary situation for a food delivery driver in Rapid City after her car was stolen with her young child inside.
Police got a call just before 8:30 Saturday morning to the northern part of town for a stolen vehicle. On the way to the address, police saw the car driving at a high speed, then crashing into another vehicle at an intersection. The suspect drove to a nearby street before stopping and taking off on foot. Officers followed the suspect into the building where he was seen jumping from a third-story window. Police eventually caught him and say that the suspect is a juvenile. The child was taken to a hospital for minor injuries.
A Sioux Falls woman is facing charges accused of setting a car and tree on fire. Police say just before 11 o'clock Sunday morning, officers were called to 2nd Street and Prairie Avenue. Shy Kammerer allegedly had a gas can and poured gas onto a car that was parked along Prairie Avenue.
And then she set that car on fire. She then walked and then set a tree on fire. That was in the 900 block of West 2nd Street.
Kammerer was found in the area with the gas can. She was charged with 2 counts of reckless burning and 1 count of intentional damage to property.
Sioux Falls police spokesman Sam Clemens says that this year was more or less a typical year for firework complaints. Clemens says that there were 135 fireworks complaints last Thursday on the 4th of July. Overall, there were 5 citations and 5 written warnings. Coming up tonight on KELOLAND News at 10, you're going to hear from an officer who took firework calls on the 4th of July. Well, welcome back. You had a nice vacation?
Yes, I did. I enjoyed some cool North Dakota weather.
Any fireworks in your vacation time?
Well, fishing was in my vacation.
Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, well, finally, it's kind of feeling like summer out there.
It is, because the heat is coming our way, Adam.
Now, if only we could do something about the mosquitoes, we'd be doing pretty well for ourselves. But, yeah, we have to deal with that. It has been a pretty comfortable afternoon to be outside. Yeah, it's been warm, but it hasn't been overly humid. We'll start this time around with a view from our camera in Miller. We'll start in Hand County, 82 with a nice light and variable breeze in place. And we're also doing pretty well here in Sioux Falls as we take a look at our camera in Falls Park. Not too far off the pace, 81 with a north wind at 8 miles per hour. Just some fair weather clouds up above, and that's really just about it. It really has been a very nice day to get outside. 82 right now up here in Chamberlain, 87 for Phillip. Rapid City along with Mobridge both at 83. We'll throw in Aberdeen, Sisseton, and Spencer for good measure. Down toward Iowa, Valentine and Winter, yeah, you're at 83 as well. Dew points haven't been bad. Either side of 60 on the high end, but still, considering we are approaching the middle of July, it could be a lot worse. And it's likely going to get worse as we head into the end of the week and the weekend, for that matter. So here's visible satellite. Yeah, we have some fair weather clouds up above, but that's just about it across a majority of KELOLAND. But we do have one little cell that tried to make itself known. This was just to the west and southwest of Aberdeen, moving south of Ipswich. That's just going to kind of make its way through and eventually rain itself out as we go through the rest of the evening. This is what we're talking about with that chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm. I do mean isolated. Same rules are going to apply for Tuesday. Wednesday, a slightly better opportunity. Then we dry out and we heat up as we head toward the end of the week. We'll talk about both those things coming up in your forecast as we head through the hour.
Thanks, Adam. Tropical storm Beryl continues to lash the Gulf Coast after making landfall in Texas early this morning as a Category 1 hurricane. The powerful storm system is being blamed for at least 2 deaths and more than 2 million power outages in the Houston area. Janet Shamelin reports from Sugar Land, Texas.
Beryl lashed parts of southeast Texas with heavy rain and gusty winds, hours after making landfall as a Category 1 hurricane.
Please, Houstonians, anyone that can hear my voice, shelter in place. Shelter in place. We're in an emergency.
Emergency crews have been busy, making more than a dozen high water rescues, including a man who drove onto floodwaters on Highway 288 in South Houston. Storm surge rose to about 7 feet in areas just west of Galveston Bay.
It seemed like this was a lot worse than some of the other ones that they said were worse.
Residents in Palacios, southwest of Houston, inspected damage to their homes and counted their blessings.
That tree limb right there could have been through the roof of our house instead of our shed. That one could have gone on our house instead of this way.
While I would say the heaviest part of the storm has passed us by, we're still feeling the impacts here. There is no power here. Everyone I know in the Houston metro area is out of power right now. Utility companies across the state are now working overtime to reach millions of homes and businesses left in the dark.
Beware of live wires that may have come down as a result of some of the debris that we find in the city, but most importantly, stay safe.
Beryl already battered Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula and several Caribbean islands last week. The storm is expected to impact Oklahoma and Arkansas as it continues to head north. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Sugar Land, Texas.
More than 1,700 flights were canceled at airports nationwide as a result of Beryl.
A long-running heat wave is gripping the U.S. after causing deaths and shattering records in the West over the weekend. Hot temperatures are predicted again today in the West, as well as in parts of the East Coast and down to the South. A visitor to Death Valley National Park died from heat exposure, and another person was hospitalized. The temperature there reached 128 degrees over the weekend. Officials say that the 2 visitors were part of a group of 6 motorcyclists riding through the Badwater Basin area. A veterans group in Oklahoma is doing what it can to help others during the extreme heat. Oklahoma Veterans United runs a program called the Tulsa Weather Coalition, which provides and installs free AC units. It is the group's only program where people don't have to be a veteran to apply.
There was this massive heat wave that came through Tulsa. Our organization decided that this was a need for our community, and we've been doing the work ever since 1980.
The group aims to prevent health issues among people with heat-sensitive medical conditions who lack access to air conditioning during Tulsa's extreme summer heat.